Hello, and welcome back to Future Stars STEM at Home. I am Sharika Jackson. I am the founder CEO of Future Stars, which is a nonprofit here in Arizona that provides STEM education and STEM workshops. So today's activity is a continuation of the rubber band car that we made on Tuesday to create a four-wheel one. So as you can see in this one right here, it's just a bigger piece of cardboard and we have four wheels. So we have the back axle, then we have the front axle. And so I'm going to walk you through how to make this one today. You can see the rubber bands are still going to be your power source. And you still would just wrap it around under here. Wrap it around. Have it going. Wrap your rubber band. And then you would let it go and it would go. So I will upload the video that I shot earlier of how this one will work. So I will set this one to the side and we're going to build one together. So first we have a bigger piece of cardboard. The other one was about half this size. You could use that half one and make it a four wheel as well, but I wanted to show you on a bigger piece. And we have a straw. We have two axles, which are your screwers. Then we have our four CDs, which are your four wheels for your car. Then we have a handful of the little pieces of cardboard that we're going to use to cover the holes on the CDs. We have rubber bands because we're going to need more than one rubber band so that it can run the whole distance of the car. We have scissors. We have some tape. We have the hot glue gun that's plugged up, so you want to make sure you help your kids with that activity when they're gluing it because it's going to require a lot more glue this time. And then I also have the little hole puncher to help me punch the hole. And of course, because I'm a little older, if I need to see something, I got my readers. So the first thing that I want to do with making sure is that the screwer can go through the top part. So if I need to make that hole bigger or not, or if it's going to go through. So I slid that in to test it, see if it's going to spin. Give it a little wiggle so it'll spin a little easier. It's not as tight. So that's the first thing I want to do. Make sure it's got plenty of space to spin easily. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to start on the back axle. So with the back axle, I'm going to glue the straw onto the back of here. So here's where it's going to get messy. So I'm going to be concentrating on this because this is, like I said, not hard, but it's just the messy part because we know glue guns, they produce a lot of glue string when you go to use it. So, and it can get a little warm. So I'm not the most skilled at glue gun. So we will go and we're just going to start with adding the glue onto the back of it. And then just getting it on there. Then I'm going to just place the straw on there. And the one thing you want to make sure you do with this is that the straw is longer so that it has a little lip on each side, because if the straw was too close, then the wheels, when you stick the screwer in, may touch. So we're going to press that on, and now I'm just going to add some more glue to the front side of it so that it can stay very well. And so that you can see, just adding more glue. Here goes the glue string. That's what I'm talking about. Glue guns, very fun. Kids love them. So I'm just adding more glue just to make sure it's nice and sealed. Blow it a little bit just to help it dry. Make sure it stays on there. All right. So what's going to happen with this is the back axle is just going to slide in there. So what we're doing is, because we want the back axles to follow the front wheels, it's just going to freely roll. If you stick it through the cardboard, if it's not as loose as you would want it to be, it could then not go. So I found that putting the straw makes it spin a lot faster. So now we're going to glue the pieces of cardboard, the little pieces, onto the CDs so that we can make our holes. So we're just going to put some glue onto the little pieces and then stick them on the CDs and then let them dry a little bit. So earlier when I was doing this, I wasn't letting them dry very well. So I think it took me about 4 pieces for one CD because I kept trying to poke the hole through it and it wasn't dry, so it kept sliding off. So I'll be a little more patient this time and let the glue dry. And then we'll stick the holes in there. And then we'll be done with the back axle. So the back axle is the easier one because we don't have to cut the hole into this front part here. So as you can see, I also have another U shape, and I pre-cut it because I didn't want to spend a lot of time. And this cardboard is not as sturdy, and the scissors in this cardboard weren't getting along too well. So I used the X-Acto knife to cut that through. So now I'm going to work on putting, so that one still feels a little warm. This one's cooled off. So I'm going to go ahead and screw the hole in. There we go. The first hole. And then now I'm going to, yep, it's cooled off. Now we're going to go with the second hole. Alrighty. So then we slide the screwer through the straw. And you add the wheel onto there. So of course it's going to be, actually what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stick the first one in. And just twist it on through. Actually going to slide it all the way through. Because then I'll just add the other one just to get the hole started, and I'll take it off just to make sure it goes through. And I'll just slide it through this way. So every time I make one of these, I go through a different process just because I think, you know, I want to be safe and not poke my fingers or poke anybody else. So there's the back side. So there's no right or wrong reason or a way to do things. It's always, if you get the same end result, then you're fine. So that's the one thing you want to always emphasize with your kids, that these are the instructions or guidelines. They're not the rules. They're not the absolute have to do it this way. They are the guidelines. So we will set this to the side and hopefully I don't knock it off the table. So now we're going to start on the front wheels. And so I'm going to glue some of these on for the front wheels. Just add the little squares with our lovely hot glue. And as I was saying before, you can use a variety of different things to fill these holes. I just used the CD or the cardboard just because I have a lot of it and it's easier and it just sticks right to it. But for people that may be a little more artsy and they want their car to look a certain way and they don't want these big bulky things, you can, you know, get putty. You can also fill it with glue, with a hot glue gun. You can use the colorful glue. So there's a variety of ways you can fill the holes. I've seen some where they've used old bottle caps from the water bottles and put on top of there and then drilled a hole through that. And it made it look like a hubcap on the CD. So there's a variety of different things that you could do to create your wheels. So now I'm just going to put the holes through here. And then also with your kids that are a little more artsy, you can let them decorate their car. They can paint it, put stickers on it, draw pictures on it. They can draw the family in the car. Like it's up to you what you would want to do with it. This activity can be 10 minutes long. It can be 30 minutes long. Because then we all know everyone likes competition. Once they build their car, then you can have them race their car. And whatever the race could be, I don't know, get to pick the next movie the family watches together. They get to determine who has to clean the bathroom. Who knows? It's all about fun learning and making it fun. So we're going to make sure these go through before we stick it in. So as you can see, I just spin it instead of trying to push it all the way. And then once I feel it go through, you can pull it on out. And then we're just going to spin this one through as well. So I can feel on this one has a little bit of glue that got in the hole. So that's why it's a little tighter. And then bring it back out. So now we're going to, actually before I put this on, I'm going to tape down, I'm going to actually use 3 of these rubber bands. So I'm going to link them together. So just pull it through. So this is a bigger rubber band, and that's going to be at the back end. And then I have 2 of the smaller ones that I'm putting together just to give me a little more distance so that when we wind it up to give it its power, it'll have that. So I'm going to grab some tape. And then I'm just, on this one, the difference on is I'm going to tape it underneath. So then it kind of wraps around. No rhyme or reason, just I found that method has worked better than taping it on the front, just to give you a little more winding power, as you can say. So I'm going to put another piece on there. And so we're just going to tape it down just to make sure it's secure. And so like I said, I taped it on the back side, and I'm going to flip it up. And so then the rubber band will come all the way up here. So now we're going to go ahead and add our wheels, our front wheels. So we're going to slide it on through. Front wheels get added. Roll it in. Other front wheel get added. There we go. So all 4 wheels are on. So does anybody know what's next? Remember from Tuesday? So we have like one final thing to do. We now have to add where the rubber band is going to connect to on the axle. So I pre-cut some tape here because I wanted to make sure I had the right size. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that in there, fold it on top of each other. As you can see, one piece. I'm going to add another piece on there on top of it. And we're going to fold it on top of each other. And we're just going to squeeze it on there. So we have both pieces. And then we're going to cut. And this is always the fun part for me because I don't have small scissors. Cutting it about halfway down. And so then you have a little piece there. And then now that's what you're going to wrap the rubber band around. Say that really fast. So now we're going to, remember you bring it under and over on top of your tape, which is going to hold it. And let's try it again. I'm going to bring it. And it does, so you can see how much power is in the rubber band because it's already resisting and not wrapping easy, which is good because that means when you release it, you're going to get some speed. And as I talked about last time, the speed when you, the tighter the rubber band, the faster it's going to go. So let's try this from over here. Here we go. There we go. So I have it wound. I have the rubber band on there. If I let it go, there's your power. So the more I would wind the rubber band around it, the faster and the longer distance it would go. So this is your basic 4-wheel rubber band car. I do encourage you to try it at home. Like I said, I know you all have CDs because we used to listen to them regularly and don't know what to do with them now that we have them. So instead of throwing everything out, you can use it for various activities in your home with your kids. The competition is still going. If you